Welcome, everyone, to today's Explainer. We are looking at a tectonic shift in the digital world today. We're moving way beyond the hype to see exactly how AI is fundamentally reshaping user experience and UI design. Whether you're actually building interfaces or just, using them every day, AI is completely changing the rules. We're going to explore how AI is evolving from a helpful little background tool into an active, independent agent and what that really means for human-centered design.
Okay, let's kick things off with a pretty stark wake-up call from UX pioneer Jacob Nielsen. You've probably heard all the anxiety out there about AI replacing human designers, right? Well, the reality is actually much more empowering. You aren't competing against a machine. You're competing against other professionals who are leveraging that machine to work faster and smarter. AI isn't your replacement, it's your new, absolutely essential tool.
So, let's dive into Section 1, AI as your UX sidekick. When we look at this perfect partnership, we really have to recognize what machines do well versus what humans do well. Human strengths, they lie in judgment, deep empathy, curation, and understanding all that messy nuance of real-world context. AI, on the other hand, brings raw, scalable processing power to the table. It offers literally infinite ideation, rapid synthesis, and the ability to crunch massive data at scale. The real magic happens when we bring these two totally distinct skill sets together to collaborate.
And in practice, this collaboration is a total game changer. Take UX research, for example. In the past, analyzing user interviews meant hours and hours of painstaking manual transcription. Today, researchers are using AI tools like natural language processing to instantly transcribe and synthesize massive datasets. Suddenly, a giant mountain of customer support logs is instantly categorized into actionable insights. It exponentially expands what humans can observe.
This sidekick is also incredibly good at automating all those repetitive, frankly boring tasks. It can rapidly generate UI components, verify color contrast for accessibility, or just populate your prototypes with highly relevant placeholder content. So we can finally say goodbye to that endless sea of lorem ipsum text. To put that into perspective, our sources note that utilizing AI in these specific ways boosted productivity by a staggering 33% for elite consultants, alongside a 40% jump in the actual quality of their deliverables.
Moving right along to Section 2, Evolving AI Design Patterns.
For the last couple of years, the standard AI interface has basically just been a chat box, but our sources highlight a major shift right now. The open-ended chatbot is actually fading. Why? Well, usability tests show people get completely lost trying to edit, review, and retype their prompts. It's super frustrating. The burden of articulating exactly what you want a complex system to do shouldn't fall entirely on your shoulders. Because of that, we're seeing the rise of task-oriented AI, which breaks down into three very distinct steps. First, you have input UX. This is visualizing your intent by connecting nodes or moving shapes around on a canvas instead of just typing text. Second is output UX, where the AI presents results through visual maps or style lenses. And finally, refinement UX. Designers are bringing back classic UI controls. We're talking knobs, sliders, and highlighters, so you can easily tweak the final product without having to write yet another elaborate prompt.
All of this leads us to what's called the AI second approach. A lot of companies rush to build these dedicated, kind of intimidating AI-first portals that feel totally disconnected from a user's normal routine. But the greatest value actually comes from sprinkling AI gently into the tools users already rely on every single day, like Jira, Slack, or Notion. You don't force users to leave their workspace, you integrate the AI as a helpful autocomplete function or a smart filter right where the actual work is happening. It creates a seamless workflow that's just far less intimidating.
Which brings us to our next major evolution in Section 3. Enter Agentic AI.
Let's define this clearly, because guys, it's a massive paradigm shift. Agentic AI refers to advanced systems that don't just sit there and generate content. They independently make decisions and proactively work toward a goal with minimal human oversight. So instead of just pointing out a bug in your code, an agentic AI might autonomously debug it and actually push the fix itself. It's quite literally the difference between using a calculator and hiring a financial advisor.
Interacting with agentic AI requires a totally new mental model from us. The predictable nature of traditional software, clicking a button and getting one specific result, is replaced by something much more fluid. It feels a lot more like working alongside a highly capable coworker. You delegate a task, the agent goes off to do the work, and then it comes back to you for review. It's true collaboration.
But designing for that level of autonomy introduces some incredibly tricky user research challenges. For instance, we have to deeply study perceived autonomy. A user might be perfectly fine letting an AI agent manage their daily calendar independently, but there's no way they're letting an AI rebalance their financial portfolio without asking first. We also have to research how trust is built, and perhaps more importantly, how users can pull the emergency brake. How exactly do they pause, override, or correct an agent that is out there acting on their behalf?
And that tees up Section 4 perfectly. Ethics, trust, and control.
Because as AI gains autonomy, the ethical stakes just skyrocket. We cannot ignore the dark side of AI here. Generative systems are prone to hallucinations, which is when they make completely false assertions but deliver them in this polished, highly confident language. If you lack human judgment, bad AI advice can easily masquerade as brilliant analysis. Add in algorithmic bias and severe data privacy risks, and it's crystal clear why leaving AI unchecked is a recipe for disaster. As the folks actually building and using these tools, we're the ones holding the keys.
So how do we actually mitigate those risks in our designs? By using UI principles built specifically for trust. First, explain the results. Let the user trace exactly how the AI arrived at its conclusion. Second, communicate confidence clearly. If the AI is only 60% sure about an answer, the interface needs to explicitly show that uncertainty. And finally, design the system to degrade gracefully. The AI absolutely must be allowed to admit when it simply doesn't know the answer, rather than just taking a wild guess.
All of this reinforces one vital concept. AI is a mirror. Because AI makes ideation practically free, it can generate thousands of concepts in seconds, the bottleneck is no longer creation, it's curation. We need highly skilled human professionals to sift through that infinite output and apply expert judgment. The better you are at your craft, the better you're going to be at guiding the AI to the winning ideas.
Ultimately, the golden rule of designing AI experiences is simply this: empower, don't replace. We should be designing systems that amplify human abilities, not systems that turn us into passive spectators. The user has to remain securely in the driver's seat, with the full ability to intervene, provide feedback, and reverse bad actions. AI is always most powerful when it works with the user, not just for the user.
I want to leave you with one final kind of provocative thought here. As personalized AI becomes an agent that learns our exact preferences, it gets incredibly good at giving us exactly what we expect. But a huge part of being human is following our intuition off the beaten path, discovering things we didn't even know we were looking for. As we design the future of AI, how do we build interfaces that don't just trap us in this ultra-efficient filter bubble, but actually leave room for the messy, beautiful serendipity of human curiosity? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this sparks some amazing ideas for your next project.